For those of y'all who don't know what Letterboxd is, by the way, Letterboxd is basically, it's similar to IMDb. It's like a community sort of site thing. My patience for the ads has been exhausted. Hey, bro, look, look, bro. If I could stop them, I would. I'm gonna try to learn how to stop them, or put them at specific times so I can warn y'all. I just haven't figured out how to do that yet. But when this shit came up on my screen, bro, I don't know if y'all can see my mouse. My shit is like lagging. I was very intrigued because I don't think I have ever seen a day in my life where I thought that an anime movie had a significant chance in fan ratings to do better than live action movies in the American box office, bro. And obviously this is fan rated. This is going to be kind of skewed. And, anime fans, the thing about anime fans going to ride out. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to try to skew the results a little bit. But apparently, whatever these fans were able to do, you rated the movie a 4.5. My boy Mose putting numbers up. Apparently, whatever Mose and them did, apparently it had an impact, bro. Because I went to click the link, right? And this is like the editorial article, right? So this is the article from Letterboxd, all right? Typical US sort of box office tracking, fan rating site. They got their 2025 year in review. They dropped this shit, right? I'm sure if you tapped into movies to any degree, some of these probably look familiar to you. I don't watch too many movies. I probably watch more movies than the average person these days. I'm not gonna lie. I probably get a good 5 to 10 theater movies in per year. So I don't know if that's more than average, less than average. I'm looking here and I recognize Sinners. Obviously, I recognize K-pop Demon Hunters. I recognize this chick from, what was that horror movie called? The one with the kids running and shit. Weapons. Weapons was so, you didn't rock with Weapons, bruh? I mean, it was cool. I feel like the first half was cool. First half of Weapons was cool. But then once they kind of revealed the villain, it kind of fell off. You haven't been to the movies in years? That's what I'm saying, bro. The movies don't hit like they used to, and I get it. It's just like a new media landscape. Yeah, we got Superman up here. I never seen Marty Supreme, but I know that was big. But anyway, I go to this editorial, right? 2025 year in review. All right, cool. I scroll down. They give us our little text. We believe that a single good movie can change your entire life. And you watched a multitude of good movies this year. In 2025, you faced off against bloodthirsty vampires, bewigged witches, bomb devils. All right. So already we know what we're about to get into, and boy band demons. With a little help from your friends, Superman, Sensei, Smoke and Stack, but only one could reign supreme. Dream big. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, cool. So we got a little Chainsaw Man nod. I'm thinking that's all we're gonna get. You scroll down a little more. All right, they give us the categories, highest rated, okay, highest rated by genre, women directors, world of cinema, blah, 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 blah. All the categories, whatever. You scroll down a little bit more, highest rated, based on nearly 700 million ratings. 700 million. So we ain't doing little boy numbers, bruh. Based on nearly 700 million ratings cast by members, these are the highest rated films overall by genre. And first one we get, number one, coming in at number one, Chainsaw Man, the movie, Rize art. Now I'm not gonna hold you. I didn't think I'm not gonna say I never thought I would see the day an anime movie would wow the broader American public. Because I knew it would happen eventually. I didn't think it would happen this year or next year or maybe through the rest of the 2020s. I think I was kind of thinking maybe by 2030 we would kind of get into that territory where it's wow, okay, we have a massive part of the US audience that really rocks with this. And obviously, right, you got to take these numbers with a grain of salt ish, because niggas, anime niggas are different, right? Anime niggas are a little mentally insane, bro. They'll really come through in droves like a young army and really push some shit to the top, bro. They said this shit had 700 million ratings or whatever. Nigga, I'm sure anime fans were making sure that either this or Demon Slayer was gonna get somewhere on this list. But the fact that they managed to push it to number 1 on a non-anime based site, I think is just really showing like how much the tides are shifting, bro. Because I did not think this was gonna happen. And then, you know, they showed the little quote. 𝙏𝙖 arc feels like someone took the emotional core of the manga, plugged it into a power source, and let it overheat in the best possible way. The movie moves with this restless energy where every scene has a little spark hiding in it, and suddenly you're more invested than you're meant to be. And then, you know, it goes into the rest of the movies. 𝙏𝙖 arc is really good movie, but a series would be so much more hype. But see, that's where I disagree, bro. That's where I disagree. Like, I genuinely think if 𝙏𝙖 arc, it kind of depends on what you're looking for, right? Like, I think if 𝙏𝙖 arc came out as a series, like, yeah, the anime would have been cool. It would have, you know, been cool to the anime audience. We all would have enjoyed it. You know, I would have made videos on it. And you know what I mean? It would have been great. I'm always advocating for series over movies most of the time because I can make videos on series. I can't make videos on movies. Or I can, but you know what I mean? It's significantly more risky. You know what I mean? And also anime, you know, I never want to make a video with cam rip footage, bro. That shit be having me like cringe my ass off, bro. And so that's one of the reasons why I kind of prefer series over movies. But I will say, for the popularity of Chainsaw Man, bro, I think for the popularity of Chainsaw Man, I think this movie did more than a series ever could. There's so much content in CSM, a movie seems reasonable. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I think, so like I said, and I've said this before in a stream, I've always wanted to see an anime that primarily adapts the whole series through movies. I just thought that would be cool. Like, I don't know if y'all are familiar with the 𝙏𝙖𝙡𝙠 movies. Those, I love those, bruh. And I wanted to see more movies do that. Movie was better as the Resident Fate, Glazer the Heavens, Feel movies were hype as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like this might be the method now. I feel like movies are less of an investment for like people who aren't super into it to, like, you know, at least give it a try. And I mean, you know, look at what it wrought. Like, you know, the numbers are undeniable at this point, bro. Someone is watching this shit, and I think these studios are going to take note. I think over the next 5 years, we're going to be in like the movie era of anime, bro. Like, a lot of these anime are gonna start gunning for movies, right? And that kind of brings me into the second thing I wanted to talk about, the sort of second topic, right? I'm scrolling through my feed. This time I'm on YouTube. All right, I get a video from the Oscars YouTube channel. I'm like, why the fuck is the Oscars on my shit? I don't give a fuck about the Oscars. I'm not watching this shit. I see the thumbnail. I see the Infinity Castle. I'm like, oh shit. They uploading Demon Slayer Infinity Castle videos for the Oscars. And so, you know, I started peeping that shit out. And it was basically, you know, I mean, it was nothing crazy. Like, they were just going through like sort of the animation process. You know what I mean? In 2019, the anime adaptation expanded the fan base worldwide, blah, 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 whatever. And, you know, they're kind of just like showing the process, right? Like, I don't know. They had like animation clips and Ganga and all type of shit in here, which, by the way, bro, these animators be locked the fuck in, bruh. Like, if you see the amount of work these niggas be putting into this shit, bro, especially when you take into account how many individual drawings go into here. 𝙏𝙖 Demon Mark OST so gas. Watching the second it comes out, there are 4. If MHA dropped as good a movie, if MHA dropped as a movie, God save the theaters. I think MHA is past its time for movies, bruh. I think MHA just missed like the movie explosion. Like, if MHA had dropped a movie in like 2017, 2018, 2019, that might have been something crazy. But also, I feel like the way MHA is organized, it would be hard. Honestly, though, I feel like low key, and I don't know if this is an insane thing to say, but I feel like My Hero could have done the overhaul arc in a good ass movie, bruh. I feel like the overhaul arc kind of dragged a little bit. in my opinion, compared to the manga. And I feel like it could have been a movie. Since the whole thing takes place over like a day. Yeah, true, but the rest of the series felt so psychedelic. Putting the rest of the series in eps is good pacing moving forward. Are you talking about MHA or Demon Slayer or Chainsaw Man? Good take, not gonna lie. No, I can see that. They could still release like one more movie, but the thing is, MHA, like, the reason these movies are so successful is because it's canon content, right? The problem with My Hero's movies, because My Hero did drop hella movies, and they always kind of did alright at the box office. You know, the fans would see them, and that's about it. But the thing about My Hero movies is that it wasn't canon, okay, My Hero movies were weird, right? Technically, it was canon content. Like, retroactively, it was canon content. You know what I mean? The movie would drop, and they would go, oh, yeah, that shit was canon the whole time, bruh. That shit was canon the whole time. Yeah, Deku fought 2.5 months before the final battle. And you know what I mean? It kind of fucks around with like the whole experience, I feel like. Because it's like the movies are cool, but they kind of throw away like, I don't know, they throw away like the power progression, right? Because it's like, you know, Shigaraki's supposed to be this big world changing like event, right? But then it's like, if you throw in the movie canons, nigga, they was just fighting bro in Egypt, Fleckturn or whatever his name is, like 2 or 3 months ago. And then, you know what I mean? The movies are kind of retroactively stuffed into the canon. One Piece did that same bullshit in Film Red. You know what I'm saying? Like, the movies, Demon Slayer and Chainsaw Man really only did like monkey numbers because they adapted canon material in the movies. And I think the anime, not the community, but the people who create the anime, the licensors, the producers, I think they were scared to do that for a long time, right? Because Naruto dropped movies, but they were always like side missions and shit. I believe Bleach dropped a movie or two. Correct me if I'm wrong. One Piece has a history of movies and OVAs and shit like that. Just like Star was just saying, but it was always side shit. You know what I mean? It was always shit that you didn't have to go see, and so there was never really a compelling reason to go see it. But the method that they're doing now is that they're doing one of two things, right? They either drop like Demon Slayer right here, they drop canon shit as movies, and you know, you go see it first in theaters, or they drop the episodes, squish them together like JJK just did, like Dandadan did before last season. They'll squish 2 or 3 episodes together, have a theatrical release before the, you know, initial run, and then that'll just be that. And you know, it's free bread. It's literally free bread, especially when they just do the theatrical releases, because it's like they're going to release it on streaming eventually anyway. The episodes were going to be made anyway. Might as well throw them into a movie, get movie ticket funds, you know, get your ticket bread up, and now you just got free paper. And I feel like Demon Slayer really unlocked that method back in 2020 with the Rengoku movie. But like, yeah, now, you know, fast forward 5 years later, we got these niggas on the Oscar YouTube channel. I doubt they're going to win the Oscar for best animated movie. Well, actually, I don't know. And the reason I say I don't know is because we all know the Oscars. Like, bro, look at this shit, bro. Look at like how complex this shit was. But yeah, the thing about, we all know like the Oscars, like all the award shows are like some industry plan shit, right? Like like they're kind of like commercials on the low, you know? It's like, you know what I mean? It's an industry like dick suck contest, right? And so, you know, at first I was sitting here thinking like, yeah, like Demon Slayer is cool, but I don't know if they're tapped into the industry enough to really like get the glaze needed over like K-pop Demon Hunters or something that's like closer to home to a US fan base. But now like I'm thinking about it, right? And Demon Slayer is, correct me if I'm wrong, the movie was distributed by Crunchyroll, which is tapped in with Sony, which is also tapped in, you know what I mean? Demon Slayer and K-pop Demon Hunters, or whatever other animated movie you're talking about, most of them, there's like 2 big players right now, right? It's either Sony in the mix or Disney in the mix. And it's really just about who can draw more glaze. So I would predict the Oscar probably gonna go to K-pop, just because I think that made a slightly bigger splash and it was an original film as opposed to like, you know, having the boost from, you know, the whole series and the manga and the games and so on and so forth. But again, I feel like this is just indicative of us reaching like a new era in this shit. We're like, bro, I'm going on to the Oscars fucking YouTube channel from 3 days ago, and we're getting anime behind the scenes, bro. And then I mean, like, we could pull the numbers up, bro. Actually, let's pull the numbers up real quick. Let's see, US best-selling movies 2025. Because I remember when I made the video on it, Demon Slayer was at like, I want to say like 17. I kind of wonder if it got pushed up anymore. No, okay, it's at 18. I think it was at 17, 18. Yeah, that's about right. And this is domestic though. If we go global, I think Demon Slayer will probably be pushed higher. Let's see. Let's do worldwide 2025. Demon Slayer. Yeah, Demon Slayer is at number 7, bro. Demon Slayer is at number 7, bro. Like over Superman, over Wicked, over Mission Impossible. So like really, I feel like we dead ass entering a new era with this shit, bro. Yeah, and so, like that shit is actually I didn't know it was that high. I'm not gonna hold you. I knew it was high, but I didn't know it was this high globally, which makes sense though, because I feel like, you know, Demon Slayer got fans all over the world. The Minecraft movie over it is crazy. I mean, nah, y'all, the Minecraft movie, like, bro, that shit, kids was there, bro. Like, kids, like, snot in their nose, like, clapping their hands together, screaming in the theater, like, begging their mom to go see that 50 times with their friends. Like, it probably didn't matter to us, right? Because it's like, you know what I mean? That was like some kid shit. But, hell nah. Neza 2 got that Chinese money. Yeah, Chinese box office is like his own, like, that's like a whole different domain, bro. That's like a whole different verse. Like they have a population of like 1 billion people, bro. So of course, if you could take over the Chinese box office, it don't even matter if you're tapped into the rest of the world, bro. You're making bread, bro. I don't know who is anyone here still watching Avatar, bro. I don't know who is out here still giving paper to Avatar. But I guess someone is, man. I guess someone is. You did, Mose. Mose, we gotta open the dialogue on you. I'm not gonna lie though. I never really watched Avatar like that, bro. I've always been a hater because I don't know if y'all remember back in like 06. Nah, it wasn't 06. It was like 09, 2010, 2011. Whenever Avatar first came out, bro, there was like a war, bro, between like fans of Avatar the movie and Avatar the Last Airbender to see like who really had that, like, you know what I mean, who owned that title, like who was the real Avatar. And I was riding or dying with Last Airbender, and to this day I'm riding it to the end. It's fuck those blue people, fuck James Cameron or whoever did Avatar. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's Airbender to the very end. Airbender in 4, you know what I'm saying? Airbender movie about to come out, make $50 billion, bruh. That would be crazy, bro. That's just its whole own thing. I heard Airbender isn't doing too well. Not many studios are trying to pick it up, but that, you know, that's a different dialogue for a different day, man. Another interesting thing I saw, I don't know, anime be doing weird ass collabs, right? Let's start by saying that. Anime kind of just like their collabs be interesting, bro, and sometimes they feel a little goofy, bro. Like I'm just sitting here wondering who came up with this idea, and if we're being dead ass right now. And so when I see that One Piece is having a college basketball collab, I'm like, okay, bro, what's really going on right now that we're putting Monkey D. Luffy with fucking Rutgers in Illinois, bro, and University of Houston? Like, what's going on, bro? One Piece college basketball U.S. voyage. You know what I mean? One Piece, it's gotten big, bro. It's gotten big, you know, past since like 2020. One Piece has gotten crazy big. You know, I think maybe besides like DBZ, Pokemon, and Naruto, it's the biggest in the world. But now we're doing the most, bro. Now we're doing the most. I didn't need to see Monkey D. Luffy representing the Gonzaga Bulldogs, bro. Like, and what is this old ass image of Luffy they're using too? And so from January through March of this year. I guess if any of y'all live near fucking Houston, Illinois, wherever Rutgers is, wherever St. John's is, and wherever Gonzaga is, you can go to your local college basketball game to get some One Piece merch, bro. And I guess they got match days, One Piece halftime shows. I don't know what that's gonna be like, bro. Like they finna send like, I don't know, Jinbei out there to start like dancing, bro. They finna start like having the fucking Sky P Anika dance. Like, I don't know, man. The whole thing feels kind of like slapped together to me. Cause look at this sorry ass, look at this sorry ass merch, bro. Niggas done threw this shit together on t-shirts.com with they sorry ass. Any Kaido, you know they not giving Kaido merch with this shit, bruh. You know they not giving Kaido merch with. Look at this shit, bruh. They took Luffy.png, slapped that nigga next to every logo, put the most basic fucking meme font on the fucking t-shirt, and I bet they charge goofy bread for those, bruh. I bet you they charging goofy bread for these sorry ass shirts, bro. And so, yeah, you know, it's always cool to see anime kind of, I guess, tapping into new markets, but did we need this, bro? Did we really need this? They doing trading cards too? One Piece card game promotion card. Imagine you trying to trade your One Piece card. Could never be Deku. I have bad news for you, Venus. I have bad news for you. Nah, bro. Deku might have started this shit, bro. Deku might have started this shit, bro, because, yeah, that nigga, we got to open the dialogue on the My Hero NBA collab, bro, because that was some buns too, bro. That shit was sorry as hell, bro. Why the fuck they got All Might playing for the Heat? What's going on? That nigga All Might never been to Miami. I mean, I guess it makes a little bit more sense because, you know, All Might's American. Okay, this kind of hard. Am I lying or this kind of hard? Am I lying or Lakers Miracle kind of tough, bro? Lakers Miracle might got it. Lakers Miracle might got it. One Piece cards are actually really valuable. That's what I'm saying. But like they're flooding the market with this bullshit right here, bro. Imagine a nigga say he about to trade you a Luffy card. Cause if my info is correct, One Piece cards are like up there now. Like they not up there with Pokemon cards, but niggas really do be collecting them Jones. And so, yeah, look, they have the fucking, what is One Piece? One Piece created by Ichiro Oda. It began serialization, blah, 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 blah. I don't like, why are they trying to pin the 2023 Netflix show on the One Piece, like, description like it's legendary? Like, am I hating for saying that we collectively, okay, maybe I'm just hating. That is a possibility. But I do not give a fuck about the Netflix show, bro. I do not give a fuck about One Piece Netflix show. I'm sorry, bro. It just doesn't hit for me, bro. It doesn't hit for me. I don't want to see Monkey D. Luffy in the flesh, bro. Shit just looks goofy to me. And like, I'm glad that it's bringing more people into the series or whatever. But like, come on, bro. People were camping outside of Dodgers games to buy the cards. So like, I feel like that's really what this is about, bro. They just trying to find more ways to push the merch, bro. And now that One Piece is like finally big enough to really like push merch outside of the anime community, they really getting busy with it. I don't respect Mid Piece, so I only interact with it through Agenda Piece. Yo, okay, so One Piece, I love it. I do like it a lot. And Agenda Piece be ruining it for me. I also have a lot of friends that are One Piece glazers that like make me like it less. Because it's like, why are you glazing it so hard? But one thing I will give to the One Piece community is that Agenda Piece is fucking hilarious, bro. Those niggas be finding the tiniest little excuse to hate, bro. Like, as a fellow hater, I kind of respect it, bro. Agenda Piece really like takes hate to a whole new level. Also, I noticed that I started a lot of sentences with I mean and have no idea what to do about that. Hey, bruh. I'm on the same shit, bro. I think we all have those little like vocal tics that we fall back on. And then I don't know what this is. Like, start your One Piece journey today. Read me. They're dropping a One Piece app. An app where you read only One Piece. Okay, that might be motion. Bro. That might be motion. I don't think I've seen another anime / manga that has a dedicated app. Unless this just takes you to like Manga Plus. I don't know, man. And then they got the live action series. That's probably what this is really about, bruh. Netflix said, hey, bruh, you trying to market the live action series for? And no, okay, now I'm going to get tight, bro. Now I'm going to get tight because why are we listing the live action series over the anime? Let's open the dialogue on that. Why are we listing the live action series over the anime? Like let's keep, you know what I mean? Let's make sure we're keeping our priorities straight. This shit should be manga, anime, live action, and then whatever else, bro. I don't know who really came up with this, but yeah, so that's interesting. One Piece, you know, One Piece doing their big one, man. Out there going to Gonzaga games. I feel like it's such random teams too, though. It's not even like the biggest teams in college basketball, but it's whatever, bro. I guess for those of y'all that fuck with the Hunter x Hunter manga, you may be excited to see, or probably have already seen, but Togashi been tweeting again, man. Togashi been tweeting again. So we know we getting some more manga chapters soon. We know we gonna get some more manga chapters. Cool little, 10 chapter drop. You know how Togashi be moving. He might drop a cool 5, 10, maybe 15 chapters in a year. His lazy ass needs to get up. See, I would say the same thing. I would say you're not I am a huge Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter might be my favorite anime. Like, it's up there. It's up there. It's in this weird place where I can't say I love it like I love Yu-Gi-Oh. It didn't hit me at the right time to be up there with like Yu-Gi-Oh or DBZ or My Hero or the other shows that really had like an impact on my being. But if I'm talking about just my all-around favorite show, like just all around, if I had to give anime report cards, I feel like One Piece would have the best marks, bro. But yeah, chapter 413 coming soon. We got Kurapika sticking up the middle finger at us and shit. I don't know what type of shit he's on. I just find it funny. One thing I always found funny about Togashi is that I don't think there's another mangaka on this planet, bro, that can drop a picture, a little whiteboard sketch, right? This look like some shit your homeboy sketched up on the whiteboard in high school, bro. Like, it's good, but you know what I mean? It don't look like nothing crazy. You can tell he whipped this shit up in like 2.5 minutes. I don't know if there's another mangaka on God's green earth. I don't know if there's another artist on God's green earth that can drop this little whiteboard sketch to 193,000 likes, bro. That's actually like that's a new level of motion, bro. Check his Twitter. He dropped a literal blank page and some scratch, bro. Like he really on some other shit with it, bro. 18 hours ago, 115K likes on a little note, bro. Blank ass fucking whiteboard. It disappeared. 58,000 likes. This is a different level of motion, bro. This is a different level of motion. I don't think, unless Oda opened a Twitter, bruh, I don't even know if Oda would have this much motion. Because the thing about Oda is that, niggas expect Oda to come back, bro. Togashi, niggas don't know when he's gonna come back. He could be gone at any given moment, bruh. And so when he comes, oh my fucking God, what is bro done? Nigga just dropping whatever, bro. Even though this shit is kind of okay. Now I see why niggas said this might be foreshadowing, right? Because he dropped the Kurapika image, all right? Then he erased it to only having the eyes. Then he just got scratches and then empty. Like, all right, is Kurapika gone? Have I seen Hori's art on Twitter? I have, bro. Yeah, that's him right here. And Hori, that's a different breed, bro. That's a different breed. Like, this nigga can draw, bro. Like, but this makes sense. I understand why these have 1,000,000,001 likes. Because it's like, okay, this is like artwork. You know what I mean? Like he's putting skill into this. But it's like, you go to Togashi shit, bruh. Nigga dropping whiteboard sketches to not a similar amount of likes, but like, you know what I mean? The effort to like ratio ain't working, bruh. I think when the Berserk author was still alive, his post would make numbers. Maybe, yeah, I can see that. Berserk fans be riding. Berserk fans do be riding, so I can see that. Even now, Berserk kind of goes viral whenever they drop a new chapter, like once a year or whatever. And the last thing I wanted to talk about, speaking of motion, bro, we got to talk about potentially the most motion-filled anime of all time, bro. An anime that has such motion that like is really on its own tier. A lot of niggas, I wouldn't say they don't consider it an anime, but a lot of niggas like don't even, you know what I'm saying? A lot of niggas think of this as like its own shit, right? I'm not sure if y'all are into Pokemon, bruh. You know, I know a lot of people got into, well, I wouldn't say people got into anime through Pokemon, but I would say on technicality, right? Because of like Cartoon Network and shit. A lot of people's first anime was Pokemon, on technicality, myself included. Like, I would say Pokemon was my first anime, technically, but it's not the anime that got me into anime. Bro, tell me why these niggas at Pokemon are on some whole other shit, bro. Niggas are, all right, they announced an official fucking Lego set for $650 pre-order, bro. $650 for the Gen 1 Final Evolutions, bro. Damn near, and you know this shit is gonna sell out. That's the crazy part. This shit is gonna sell out, get scalped, and probably quadruple in price, bro. This shit is gonna sell out, get scalped, and quadruple in price because you niggas got no self-control, bruh. And don't get me wrong, this shit is hard, bro, okay? I'm a big Venusaur guy myself. Like, this looks cool, bro. I love this not Venus. Yeah, this is Venusaur. I was thinking, yeah, I'm a big Venusaur guy. I would buy this if it was reasonably priced. But dog, this is rent money now. This is rent money. Niggas putting up rent money for the Pokemon Lego set, and I get it. It's a collector's item. It's the first of its kind. Of course, it's gonna be big bucks. But holy shit, bro. Limit 1? Niggas said we making sure niggas not scalping this shit, bruh. Limit 1. Damn, you niggas can't even really buy this shit for real, bro. Niggas can't even, that is motion, bro. That is motion. Casual cool $650. And you know, I feel like they have some other little sets too. $60 for a little ass Eevee, $200 for a little ass Pikachu. I feel like lately, I don't know if y'all are tapped in with Pokemon like that. I'm not too tapped, but I kind of keep my ear to the floor. I feel like lately they've been pushing Eevee a lot more, bro. I don't remember, Eevee was always like niggas always liked Eevee coming up, but like I feel like Eevee wasn't pushed as much when I was a kid, where he would be up here being sold with Pikachu and the big three. I feel like lately they've been pushing Eevee a lot more, and you know, I guess they just trying to market differently. But yeah, I found that they're changing marketing strategy to be interesting. Eevee needs more forms. No, he don't, bro. Bro got like a smooth 20 forms now. Pokemon is mid, bro. I don't like it. I mean, it's its own thing, bro. I don't even compare it to other anime. It's its own thing, bro. You can't even though I will say, bro, one thing that's kind of sad, bro, is that I feel like, and this goes for Pokemon Legos and Pokemon like cards. I feel like the target audience, quote unquote, because of like millennials and Gen Z who finally got their hands on money, you know, because they're scalping and doing all this crazy shit for the cards and the toys, bro. I feel like the target audience is getting priced out of the like the fan base, bro. Because what's gonna happen is, bro, like Lil Johnny, he loves Legos, right? He 8 years old or whatever. You know, he want to get his Lego on. He want to get his big three Lego going. Mom, can you buy me the new Pokemon Lego set? You know, mom think we still in 2004, think that shit's slight. Yeah, sure, Johnny, let me see it. She goes on there, sees $649. She's like, oh fuck no. She's like, oh fuck. Maybe you tell Johnny to get his bag up is crazy. Nigga's 8 years old, bruh. And so I'm thinking, low key, bruh, here's my conspiracy theory about the Pokemon marketing strategy, bruh. Meanwhile, someone like Cheesecake go and buy 5 of those. And that's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm thinking, right? I'm thinking Pokemon knows their market. And so now they're really tapping in. Because here's what I see here, right? We got a $60 Eevee, right? This is like, all right, this for the kids, right? Yeah, the kids play with Legos. The kids love Pokemon. Yeah, they can't dish out as much money as, adults can. And odds are if a parent has kids, they don't have as much spare money to dish out on this shit anyway. So fuck it. All your niggas, yeah, y'all take your little $60 Eevee and get out my face. Fuck out of here. Then we got the mid tiers, right? All right, that's like Gen Z, your 20, 21 year olds. We're working now. We starting to get some bread. You know what I mean? And now we're indulging in our hobbies. I feel like we're more consumeristic than previous generations too. You know what I mean? This is where this mid-tier 200 comes in, right? You know what I mean? Market is still fucked right now. Jobs are fucked. So, we might not be able to drop this $650. That's rent money. But okay, if we save up, we might be able to get a cool little Pikachu and Pokeball. Niggas gonna Klarna that shit or something. I don't know. Put that shit on a payment plan. That's the mid tier, right? Your little smooth little $200, something slight, something small, something easy, And then we got like the big boy, like the whales, right? The $500, $600, $700 worth of Legos. That's like big body, like millennial money right here. They've been working for a little bit. Millennials, they love their Pokemon. They gonna be the ones copping up this shit, bro. And don't get me wrong, bro. This shit looks cool as hell. If this was like a regular Lego set, I don't know how much Lego sets go for these days because I haven't built Legos ever since my cousin destroyed my whole Lego city as a kid. I deadass just went from like a Lego fanatic to putting the hobby down. This looks really cool. I would have fucking loved this as a kid. Like, look at him, bro. Why is he looking at this shit so seductively? This is exactly how Cheesecake and them finna be looking at their Lego sets. Is this why Pokemon costs like $700 for some cards now, bruh? Because they know who fiending for this shit, bro. In fact, let me see if on the other ones they have different ages of people like in the images for the marketing, or do they use adults still? I'm curious. Like if they're gonna have a kid in this one. No, they still got a full adult. Working with the Eevee. Okay, yeah. You know good and damn well Unc over here not trying to play with these Pokemon, bruh. Building it. And crazy part is this shit is like 50 pieces, bro. No, I'm not gonna lie, this shit isn't fairly priced, bro. This is like a mini set, bro. You know those little boxes? Bro? Like, come on, bruh. $60 for this shit and it's still limit 1. We gotta open the dialogue on Pokemon, bruh. Pre-order them all at one. Hold on, bruh. Like this, hell nah. Shout out Pokemon though. If they can do it, if they can push niggas to really push that bread out for them, more power to them, man. Keep getting their bread up because. And the sad part is that it's only going to exponentiate in price, bro. It's only going to exponentiate in price because what's going to happen is niggas are going to buy them. And if I remember correctly, the Star Wars Millennium Falcon went from like $500 to like 2 bands being resold on eBay. And so, you know what I mean? Like that's already a fuck ton of money. What's going to happen with Pokemon? Same fucking shit. It's gonna go from $750. Niggas gonna be paying $3.5 for they fucking for they Kanto starter set, bruh. $3.5 bands for they Kanto starter set, and it's just the industry's in a weird place right now, bro. Where I feel like they might be fucking themselves over though, bruh. Because the thing about Pokemon, the reason I feel like it's so popular now is because it was easy to. It was easy to get into as a kid. You know what I mean? Even if you didn't have that much bread, you could probably buy a couple cards or you could trade cards. You know what I mean? They were putting cards in fucking Burger King meals and shit. Like, you know what I mean? You could get into the hobby easily. All you needed was like access to a TV, maybe a little like, DS, a couple dollars to buy some booster packs, and boom, you were in the hobby. Now I feel like the kids are getting priced out. And so if we have a whole generation of kids that's not growing up with these, whole generation of kids that can't even afford to like this shit, fast forward 20 years, niggas not gonna give a fuck about Pokemon anymore like that. Even though I'm sure that's never fully gonna happen just because Pokemon is so popular. And it's almost like a rite of passage, right? I feel like it's some shit that's passed down from generation to generation. And Pokemon is too big to fail. But I think if they keep tweaking like this, then, they might be on like failure watch, bruh. Like maybe in like a century or something. I don't know.